630 CE, Mecca, the city where it all began, where the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born and exiled. For years, his people were persecuted, hunted, and driven away. But today, they would return, not as conquerors, but as forgivers. This was not a battle. This was a moment of history. This was the Conquest of Mecca. 8 years had passed since the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers left Mecca. They had built a new life in Medina, but Mecca, the heart of Arabia, remained under the control of the Quraysh. In 628 CE, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah was signed, a truce between the Muslims and the Quraysh. But in less than 2 years, the Quraysh violated the treaty, attacking an allied tribe under Muslim protection. It was a betrayal. A line had been crossed. The Prophet, peace be upon him, prepared for the march, not out of vengeance, but to reclaim peace. The Muslims gathered, 10,000 strong, men of faith, disciplined, silent. They marched across the desert, not openly declaring war, but giving Mecca a chance to surrender, peacefully. As they approached, Abu Sufyan, the leader of the Quraysh, was captured. He was brought before the Prophet. There was no rage, no harshness. The Prophet simply said, "Whoever enters the house of Abu Sufyan will be safe. Whoever stays in their home will be safe. Whoever enters the Kaaba will be safe." Abu Sufyan returned to Mecca and urged his people not to resist. The Muslims entered Mecca without bloodshed. There were no raids, no fires, no plunder. The Prophet led his army with humility, his head lowered, riding on a camel, reciting verses of gratitude. They approached the Kaaba, the ancient house of worship. Around it stood 360 idols, symbols of false gods. If you're still with us, consider subscribing to support the channel. Let's continue with the video. With a staff in hand, the Prophet recited, "Truth has come, and falsehood has perished." One by one, the idols fell. The Kaaba was purified, restored to the worship of the one God, as built by Ibrahim, peace be upon him. The people of Mecca, those who once mocked him, tortured his followers, and waged war against him, now stood before the Prophet. He asked, "What do you think I will do to you?" They replied, "You are a noble brother, the son of a noble brother." And the Prophet declared, "Go, you are free." There was no revenge, only forgiveness. That day, thousands embraced Islam. Hearts that once held hatred softened. Enemies became brothers. Abu Sufyan, Hind, Ikrimah, even Khalid ibn al-Walid, the general who once led armies against the Muslims, became a defender of the faith. The city that once exiled the Prophet now welcomed him as its rightful leader. This was not just a conquest of land. It was a conquest of the soul. The conquest of Mecca was the moment when mercy triumphed over pride, when patience proved stronger than power, when a bloodless victory united Arabia, not by force, but by faith. It was a day that changed history, not with swords, but with forgiveness.